Traveling to Thailand is seriously an amazing experience, and you don't just have to be an English teacher to stay out here long term. I want to talk about how I stayed in Thailand without actually being a teacher. I want to talk about how I did it, the process as how an American would do it, and what route you should actually take. There's actually 2 or 3 massive gyms out here that are notorious for helping Westerners and non-Thai people come here and get these visas. But you also have places like Phuket and Chiang Mai as well. Now, when you do get out here, this is a sport. This is a fighting sport. This isn't like boxing either. You're kicking. You're doing a lot more dance around. So you need to be somewhat fit. If you are completely out of shape, I wouldn't recommend it up front. I would say go do some laps for a couple weeks to get into shape. But if you are completely out of shape, you're starting on your own, I strongly recommend just doing like a one-on-one, because the trainer can kind of more adapt to you. When you're in a group, you kind of have to keep up with everybody. I found the group was a lot better for a few reasons. One, you're always sparring with different people. So you're not getting like adapted to one style of a fighter, because you're going to be fighting Thai people and non-Thai people. Be able to kind of like get a vibe for how different styles are. That was a cool thing about the whole group thing. And also, you get to meet a lot of people around the world, but you also meet Thai people that typically speak a basic level or a higher level of English, so they can show you around the town. Thai people, when they go out with other Muay Thai fighters, bro, it's a whole different world in Bangkok. And when it comes to the Westerners, typically in Thailand, a lot of the Westerners are just teachers. So you're getting this like different vibe of people, being like, people that just turned 18, people that are just kind of bored, some people that just want to travel and party, get drunk. When you're hanging out with Western people that are training to fight, to protect their lives, you definitely meet a different group of people. If I had to balance them out, I really think it's the Muay Thai side of Western people that I've met in Thailand have been tenfold cooler people to hang out with. So with that overview broken down, let me break down the application process itself. It's pretty straightforward, and it's a lot easier than the whole getting a teacher's work permit. Now, the first thing you need to do is find the gym that actually supports this whole process. So it's not going to be a hard thing to find. It is important to make sure the gym you find does support this. Don't start packing your bags and fly out here to Thailand for a gym that you saw online or on a YouTube video you thought was really cool, and you find out, wow, this is just like a local gym. It's not one that's sponsored. So we find our gym. What's next? So the very first thing is you're gonna have to pay for the actual membership. They want you to pay up front. At least I had to pay everything up front. So for me, when I first started, like I said, I did private and I did group. The private is about 125,000 US dollars. The group ran about 108,000 baht. Not dollars, but baht. And then you have to pay a 20,000 baht enrollment fee. This runs you about $580. This is the paperwork process, and this covers you getting the whole visa, like the actual documentation part of it. This process is so much easier than going through the whole B1 teacher work permit garbage. If you've ever worked in Thailand, and you had to get a teacher's work permit, you understand how much bullshit and loopholes and bribe money and how the rules change every 42 seconds kind of stuff you go through. With the Muay Thai Visa, I never once ran into this. And everyone I talked to that went through the process too, nobody had any snags. It was just like, yeah, I paid the fee, gave them paperwork, did this and that, and it was done. When you talk to teachers in Thailand, everyone has a story. Now, once you get that paid, the gym gets everything set up for you. It takes about 2 weeks to actually get your paperwork back from the immigration. I got mine back in like 9 or 10 days, something like that. And in the meantime, you can just hang out at the gym, work out, or start doing some laps so you don't die in the ring the first time you get there. So the documents are pretty straightforward. You just need your passport, obviously. You need a proof of payment of your enrollment. So that $580 you paid for the gym, and then also have 2 passport-sized photos. They're going to need one for the visa, and then they have another one for the actual form that you fill out. And then the final part is you just need a signed form from the gym. And really, the whole process is pretty easy. You pay your enrollment fee, you pay your fee. The gym, depending which one you go to, the one that I went to actually helped me through everything. Once you get your papers back from immigration, you have to go to the consulate. You're going to need to have a few things different from this point. You're going to need your proof of funds, which is like you have money to survive. You need a copy of your signed lease agreement where you're living. So you have to actually be living out here already. And when it comes to the actual lease, you have to make sure that you need a photo of your landlord's ID proving this signature. That was something I actually had to go back to him and get done. And then you need a contract from the gym. Like pretty much when you pay your fee, they're gonna give you like this 1-year enrollment form and stuff like that. This form is a little different than the traditional like gym membership form where you just sign like a paper. This one's gonna break down the required times you have to be there per week, how many hours you have to be there per month, and how long you're going to be training at this gym. This is kind of where I say you have to be there for two times a week at an hour and a half. This is where you're going to see the final numbers. Each gym's probably different. And then the last two things you need is the form that you got from immigration, and then the final part is the actual form for the visa itself. And then once you get all this stuff, man, you're good to go, man. Get on a plane, fly out of the country. This is like your 5-day wait. Go out there, just go hang out, man. Take a trip, take a vacation, enjoy your time. Once everything's approved, you'll get it all. Come back to Thailand, you'll get the stamp with your new visa. And if you have any issues with this, like any questions like that, like obviously you can ask me in the comments below, but your gym should take care of a lot of this for you. And like I said, the proof of funds, I didn't really talk about how long. It needs to prove that you have money up to 6 months of cost of living. So if you have your apartment, you're going to want to consider that. Like my apartment, I paid in advance, so I didn't technically own rent for the entire time of my visa. So my only bills that were going to be considered was just going to be like food and transportation. So when I did and I was advised to do $1,500, they're like, that's fine since you don't have rent. Like the government's going to see that, you're going to be good. You can't come out here, get the Thai visa for Muay Thai, and then start being an English teacher. That you could actually get in trouble for that, from my understanding. You have to be able to support yourself in the time that you're out here. Now, once you get the visa, it's 1 year, and it can be extended up to 5 years. Seriously, 5 years. You get your visa, you're back in Thailand, you got your apartment, you're chilling, training starts. Let's talk about what that's like. So the actual training at Muay Thai isn't as crazy as like a lot of people think. Like it's not like Jean-Claude Van Damme kicking bamboo trees and up at 2 a.m. with your trainer drunk throwing like bar chicks at you. Nothing like that at all. The classes are typically Monday through Saturday, 8 or 9 a.m. to about 7 to 10 p.m. It depends on the gym and their time schedules. And what you do is you sign up for classes themselves. So there's slots that you sign up for. And again, this is, I think this was the biggest surprise for a lot of people, is they thought it was like going to be a bunch of Thai kids running around farms everywhere and people screaming and kicking trees and walls and metal poles and backflipping and whatnot. It wasn't like that. It was actually like a legit gym. And the way they treated the classes and the schedules was the same. And I've noticed if there's mostly Western people in the training window, typically the teachers go a little lighter. I noticed when there was more Thai people in the class, the trainers got pretty rough. So do keep that in mind. I would almost suggest getting into an all-Western class for your first week or two if you're not really in shape or you have no idea what you're doing, like if you've never fought ever. But whatever the case is, when you find this gym, you have to contact them beforehand. Do not just show up, land in Thailand, and just show me, like, I want to be a Muay Thai fighter, and have nothing with you. I strongly recommend just calling them and find out what's going on. It's kind of like if you're going to be a teacher, right? Like you got to know what documents you need before you fly out to Thailand and be a teacher. You got to have a TEFL, link below. You got to have a degree, link somewhere. And you get that from just calling them, asking, hey, I want to enroll in your school. I got the money, I'm ready to go. I want to start next month, blah, blah. What do I need to have when I come out there? And they're going to tell you everything. Get it done before you come out. Now, real quick, I want to break down what the actual cost is. I kind of ran through it real fast, but I'll go through it again. Now, the visa cost itself is about, I'm going to go in US dollars for you guys. It's about $60. And then after 3 months, you can extend it. It comes out to 1,900 baht. That's never changed. That runs about $55. This is the tourist visa. This is when you first get here to start setting up the process. Yeah, I think it's better too. Go to the gym, check it out for like a week or two. You know, train there, pay for the days, and try the gyms out and find the one that works best for you and meets the requirements for the visa. And like I said, the cost for me when I first started, it was $125,000, so I was like $3,400 give or take. And this paid for everything. It paid for the membership fee, the enrollment fee, the visa. If you do the group one, $2,700 give or take is what that cost. And that was really it. Now, speaking of the private versus the group, what is the real difference? When it comes to the documentation process, there is no difference. It's the same process, A to B. It does not matter which way you go. The only difference is how much you have to pay for the membership. And like I said, the groups is a good way to meet new people, meet the locals, meet other Western people, learn different styles, learn how to defend yourself against different styles. It's a great way to go. If you want to do like one-on-one training, you can definitely do that. I recommend it for somebody that's super serious or somebody that's super way below. Can you skip classes? Like, are you obligated to 2 or 3 times a week? The gym I was at was extremely reasonable. I actually took 3 weeks off to go Phuket to PP Island, and while I was in Phuket for a week, I went to one of their gyms, and the gym was completely fine with it as long as you're not making it a habit. Like, understand that they are sponsoring you as a Muay Thai fighter. They're not sponsoring you as a teacher. They're not sponsoring you as an employee. They're sponsoring you as a Muay Thai fighter. So you have to be in these classes per your contract that you showed the government. So in general, as long as you make your 2 or 3 days a week training, you're pretty much good to go. Whatever else you want to do on the side. In regards to taking vacations and like going home for like the holiday or stuff like that, no issues. Think of it as a 9-to-5 job. You can have holidays, you can have sick days. That's all. I mean, it's just a job. You're just paying to work for them. You're paying them to beat you up. That's it. And the final part, do you need to be in shape when you start this? And the short answer is yes. When I first started, we got pulled into the ring to be the demonstrated students where we had to like block and whatnot. And I was in the ring for like 5 or 8 minutes. So if I was just like out of dead shape, like it would have been obvious. It would have been quite embarrassing, to be honest with you. So you should be in some type of decent shape. You should know you want to do this like months in advance. Don't think you can run a quarter mile fast, you're going to be good, or you can bench 580,000 pounds, you're going to be good. You have to put this stuff together. So it is definitely a draining thing. So cardio, resistance, couple hundred push-ups a day, simple stuff. Like we're talking like an hour a day training. That'll be enough to get you ready. This is just advice. This is what worked for me. You know, I got on keto, a couple hundred push-ups, resistance training. I went out and running. Got in the gym, got punched around a few times, got used to it, I got good. And I think this is an awesome thing to do. Like, I know a lot of people, when they think of Muay Thai, they think of Jean-Claude Van Damme and kickboxer, like kicking bamboo trees and kicking poles and, I don't know, doing like hurricane kicks while the crowd's screaming your name. Like, that's not what it's like at all. There's definitely a different culture. This is worth it. I've met computer dorks, I've met web developers, I've met crypto winners, I've met fitness people, trainers. There was actually a couple YouTube influencers that were like fitness influencers that were there. You meet so many different types of people, way different genre of people than you would meet as an English teacher. And I think these types of groups that you meet are so much cooler than teachers. I'm sorry, guys. Either way, guys, I'm going to get out of here. Thanks for watching. I will see you again.